So, my husband and I, 20, have been married 6 months, but been together for 4 years. We own a 2-bedroom home. He works at an AC company and I am unable to currently work because of my morning sickness and how big I'm carrying. We are financially stable enough. We were so excited for the new addition in our home, especially since we were extremely worried I wouldn't be able to have kids due to my endometriosis. When we told his mother, she was furious. She first accused me of lying and demanded me to show proof. I brought her to a doctor appointment with me because she told me my ultrasound photos could have been fake. She then told my husband he was making a big mistake by getting me pregnant and tried to convince him I was trapping him. He proposed before I had even became pregnant. She tried convincing us abortion was the only option because of our financial status and tried convincing my husband I was using him for money. I have always worked, this is only temporary unemployment. She sends my husband crazy scenarios she comes up with on ways he can leave me and the baby behind and start a new life. He doesn't listen of course, but he loves her too much to block her. He's cried about it several times to me. She sends my husband text about how horrible I am and that he's made a huge mistake. He's the only boy out of 3 kids and he's the youngest, so she has this weird thing against me. I've tried to make good with her. I've been trying since I was in the 11th grade. I've tried inviting her out, buying her holiday presents and communicating. I did not meet her and starting off in a bad foot. I came from strict Christian parents and a veteran father. I know how to have respect. We invited her to our baby shower, and she refused to come and sent me a whole essay on how self-centered it is to receive gifts that I'm supposed to provide. My husband and I have been thinking about not telling her when the baby's born and if she finds out, just not letting her meet her. I talked to one of my sister-in-law I am really close with and trust she won't say anything, and she told me that would be messed up to withhold the first grandchild and that her mother would never let it go. I just don't want her to meet her granddaughter, if she even decides she wants to. I don't know if that makes me selfish. I don't want to be that mom that holds a baby from anyone like an object. I had a false labor today and she just bust in my home thinking the baby was coming. I started yelling, "Get out." I texted her after the hospital telling her it was a false alarm. I'm a first-time mom and worried, but everything's fine. And she texted me back saying how dare I kick her out of her son's house. She also texted my sister-in-law accusing me of faking earlier. I saw screenshots. She's been so hateful this whole pregnancy, and so hateful to me since she met me. I just would like to be respected. I am going to be in this woman's life forever. Her son and I are in love and we were high school sweethearts. I'm not sure why she can't just accept it. No, she doesn't get to have it both ways. She wants to belittle you and claim that the baby is a mistake and insist you get rid of it. Then she doesn't deserve to have anything to do with said baby. That is utterly ridiculous. She has made it very clear that she does not want you to have this baby, so honor her wishes and remove her from your baby's life. Alternatively, imagine growing up thinking your grandmother loves you only to find out that she actively campaigned to get rid of you and believes you were a baby trap. Do you think that's not going to completely F up someone's mental health? Why are you even trying? This woman will never like you, never accept you, and never be kind to you. She's either going to be cruel to your child or try to alienate your child from you. No one gets to have a relationship with my children unless they have a relationship with me too. My job is to protect my children. I can't do that if I allow them around people who are actively trying to hurt me. Children learn how to allow themselves to be treated by how they see their parents allowing themselves to be treated. Don't allow your child to think they deserve to be treated badly. Believe me when I say that it's not you. If you weren't in the picture, she would still be just as hateful to whoever it was, unless they were someone she had hand-selected for her son. You will never win her approval, because she's not looking for reasons to approve of you. Distance yourself from her, stop making an effort with her, and when you go into labor, register as private with the hospital so she can't burst in. From experience, the sister-in-law that you think is your friend but is still, at the end of the day, making excuses for her parents' toxic and abusive behavior is not your friend or someone you can trust. She is too deep in the fog and unlike your husband, has no obligation to put a relationship with you above one with her parents. Be very careful what you share with her. She can very quickly turn into a flying monkey, and once she does, you'll have no way to make her unknow all the sensitive information she's learned about you. No. Tell husband if he wants to continue the toxic relationship, he is welcome to, but as for you and your baby, you will not be a part of it. Remind him that she wanted this baby aborted. So tell her that as that was her wishes, her reality is no baby for her. She needs counseling and to show she has changed. Good luck with that. What your future holds should you maintain a relationship. She will interfere with you and your children. She will twist and say that her mother got pregnant with her to trap her daddy and has used it ever since. She may even tell her that you wanted to abort her but she prevented it. She will do this, trust me. She will also say disrespectful things about you to your children and they will be in the middle. How do I know? I was you. My oldest is almost 40 and she tells him and the other children this drivel every time. I thought my kids would see through her. Out of 3 children, only 1 sees through her. First up, change your locks ASAP. Second, do not tell her when you go into labor. Tell the nurses or midwives that you only want your husband with you, etc., and she's not to be allowed in under any circumstances. She tried to convince you to abort your child that you guys wanted and planned for. She's trying to convince your husband to leave you and your unborn baby and start fresh. Along with all that other bonkers nonsense she's pulling, this isn't stuff to just let slide. She needs some serious boundaries laid out by dear husband. I'd honestly stop trying, let all communication come via your husband and seriously discuss how much information. I'd suggest super info diet you want her to have going forward. I'd also not let her visit if your husband isn't home, when or if you decide you're up for that. I hope the rest of your pregnancy goes smoothly and you have some peace and rest, without mother-in-law drama, before your bub comes. Okay, first, your husband needs to tell her enough. No more shitty texts about leaving you, no more nasty comments about trapping him, no more, full stop. She won't stop until he makes her stop. She's never going to like you or approve of you because she views you as competition. You stole her baby boy and must be punished every day since she can't convince him to ditch you. Stop trying to be nice, you're wasting your time and energy on someone that doesn't deserve it. Husband needs to enforce strict boundaries with his mother and there has to be real consequences for her treatment of you. That means no more access to your home. It's not her son's house. It belongs to you both and every time she pulls the my son's house BS she gets kicked out immediately. If she's got a key, don't even bother asking for it back because she will have a copy already. Just change the locks and tell husband under no circumstances does she get access to the new keys. Same goes for how she treats you. Set your expectations now before baby gets here. No more drop-ins. She comes only when invited or she doesn't get in the door. No, well, she's here now, or she demands XYZ. No invite, no entry. When it comes to labor and the birth, remember this is your private medical information and only you decide who gets to know what and when. Yes, it's husband's baby too, but you are the patient, not him. He's a bystander in this until your little squish gets here. Figure out what you want as far as visitors at the hospital once you get home. If that's none, then he needs to make sure that happens. If you want 2 weeks to bond alone as a little family, then that's what you get. If you want masks and vaccinations, then that's what happens, or no visits until baby is old enough to be protected themselves. Wash hands before holding baby or no holds. No kissing so baby doesn't get sick. No babysitting or overnight stays until you are ready or you ask. Nobody else gets to set rules for your baby and postpartum but the parents, despite what some people may think. Your baby, your choice. Nobody has to like it, but they do need to follow your rules. If she can't be civil to you, she gets no access to baby. She says anything nasty about you, she gets no access to baby. She says nasty things to your husband about you, or tries to get him to leave, she gets no access to baby. She doesn't give baby back, she's asked to leave. She undermines your parenting, she's asked to leave. She doesn't follow your rules for your baby, she's asked to leave. She interferes when you're attending to baby, she's asked to leave. She constantly demands you do things her way or gives outdated advice she told once, that's not how you're doing it, then she's asked to leave. If she wants access to her grandchild, she behaves like a reasonable person or she misses out. Put her in timeout, no contact for a week, and if she pulls another stunt that's 2 weeks, or as long as you choose. Sit down with husband and work out the consequences for when she does all the things you already know she's going to. Run through scenarios with him and what her consequences will be if that happens. Protecting yourself and your child from her appalling behavior isn't withholding your child from their grandparent, you're protecting you both from someone that is abusive. She's absolutely going to ramp up her nonsense, she's going to rage and throw tantrums, she's going to accuse you of destroying her family and ruining her relationship with her son. Basically anything bad is going to be all your fault and you're going to be the devil incarnate. She's an adult and her feelings are her own to deal with, you don't have to listen and you don't have to take any of her BS. Put the phone down, kick her out or leave if you're in her house, let her rage to an empty room because you do not have to be her audience. This will be your child, you get to do all the firsts. Grandparent never trumps parent, this may be her first grandchild, but this is your first child and that is more important. Remember, boundaries without consequences are just suggestions, so be rigid to start with, and you can always relax them later, if she proves she can be respectful. If husband can't set boundaries with her, suggest counseling to help him get strategies to stand up to her. He's a father first, husband second and son third, you and baby will be his immediate family. Everyone else is now extended family, so their wants are considered only after all your little family's needs are met.